Rock Phoenix Live. Thank you for pressing play. Turn up that volume. Tonight we have a very special show. Tonight we are talking to Engines of Aggression, their first song right there, DJ Thrill. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Engines of Aggression. Trip, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, Trip? And Paul, is it?
Yeah. Mr. Furlane. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, what's going on, man?
How are you?
Good, how you guys
Not
doing?
much. How are you guys?
Good. Hey, so
We're doing all right.
is this everybody we have tonight, or are we going to wait for one more, or?
Yeah, this is Trip and Sterling from EOA, and he's my right hand man and my left hand man, and so I got to have Paul on the thing, and well, to be honest, the other two guys couldn't make it, but that's how it is. So.
No worries, guys. I got to say right off the bat, dude, DJ Thrill, awesome song, man. That's totally amazing. I dig it so much. It's so awesome.
Yeah, right. Well, so that's kind of our goal, is to be amazing. And I really like the fact that you got that. You get that. So
yeah, all of your music was totally awesome. Working on this and gearing up for tonight's episode was just awesome because, how do I put it? There's like sometimes where you're doing your homework and you're like, well, this is cool. But then there's times where you do your homework, you're like, oh, dude, this is just awesome music. Like, you guys are an amazing group, and it's actually honored to have you on our show because of how awesome the music sounds and your writing styles.
Bro, I'm blushing right now. I'm blushing.
Yeah, right.
So tell us.
But I tell you what, man. Go ahead, please.
Tell us about DJ Thrill. How did you guys write that song? What's the process about?
Well, I got to think back to that. What was going through my head? Okay, so it was this like okay, so DJ Thrills there's kind of like two songs. It's two songs in one. It kind of goes off into that second part, which is firing up the hot rod. Because I'm kind of ADD, bro. So I start writing a song that's going down one path, and then all of a sudden it's like, I feel like going for a drive. So
Right.
that's kind of my. So and to me, my biggest criteria is does it sound cool? Is it hitting? Is it hit emotionally? And a lot of times, if you were to follow it linearly, is that a word? On paper, it doesn't make sense, but when you hear it, it does make sense because I'm just kind of nonsensical sometimes, and sometimes you just got to fire up the hot rod and go.
That's exactly it. That sound, like you guys had in your bio, it's so Rob Zombie-esque.
Henry Rollins is.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Hey, who's that?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, it's Jen.
There's another person there.
Yeah, that's Jen. She's the
how
she's the fact checker.
I've heard it. I've heard of her. Hey, oh shit! Don't look into us too.
So please know, I know all your facts. Is all I'm saying.
Well, Paul's innocent. Paul didn't do it. It wasn't. It was he was framed. I tell you, he was framed.
Look at me.
He didn't do it.
Oh, Paul sounds very innocent, and he's very prompt too because he was on the phone before anybody else.
Right.
Yeah, well,
I have to be punctual. Someone's got to be punctual in the band.
There you go,
right?
Punctual Paul.
Hey, lead singers have an image to uphold. They have to be elegantly late. They have fashionably late,
Right.
and they have to uphold that image.
You got that? You've seen the handbook. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, I'm a musician.
it's the Axl Rose handbook of douchebaggery.
Oh my! So you're telling me on your first show that you had to the cops had to be called to get you to go to your venue?
Yeah, that's funny. Isn't that funny?
I heard about that story. Yeah.
Yeah, Axl Rose.
I called the cops on myself. I called the cops on myself. Actually, our very first show was at the Viper Room in like about 1912 in Hollywood, and we back in those days we would bring our own lights because we were just always trying to do over the top shit, just trying to be a little bit more. What did you call it? Amazing or whatever?
Yeah.
So we're trying to always be amazing. And to be amazing back in those days, in 1912, I mean, they had just invented electricity and all that, and they didn't have the LED car cans that they do now. So these 1,000-watt car cans, we bring in lighting, like a concert lighting into the little Viper Room. I don't know if you've ever been to the Viper Room in LA, but it's pretty small.
Yeah, long time ago.
So at soundcheck, we pretty much blew the whole power on the entire block, with our lights, and all the liquor stores and the records, everything, the whole block went out. Not really the whole block, but the club itself definitely went dark.
They're all they're all old buildings down there in LA. I mean, come on, it was bound to happen.
Yeah, that's now. See, you know what I'm talking about. So we're like, what the hell? So one of our roadies makes a mad dash to the rental place to get a generator to run these damn lights.
Oh my god!
And the generator's in the back of the U-Haul. Well, then we realized that well, shit, this is LA. This is Hollywood. You can't have an open. You can't have it
not
closed
unlocked.
up in the truck, or it'll. Yeah, and then you can't just have the truck open back there because somebody's going to steal the damn thing. It's Los Angeles after all, And anything that's not anchored down is going to get taken by somebody. So it was a real shit show, but we pulled it off,
That's so awesome. That's so metal right there.
But that's what you would have had to do. Because a lot of times, like the new acts or the opening acts, they're not as extravagant and they're not as mind-blowing as like the headliner because nobody brought in their own lighting system and their own strobes or their own whatever. That was good thinking.
Exactly. And you have to... What? I mean, I have lighting, I have strobes and shit just in my house. You know what I mean? just for my own entertainment.
Right.
So it's like,
I
pretty much have to have a light show everywhere I go.
It just follows you around, right? The spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, my dogs have a light show. It's like it's lighting is important.
Oh, that's awesome.
Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Paul. Don't let me interrupt you. Go ahead, Paul.
All right.
Here's the floor. You have the floor right now, Paul. Just go ahead and tell them about you. Don't be shy. Just go ahead and tell them, Paul.
If you want me to talk the bark off a tree, I mean, I can do it. But yeah. So yeah, I get this question a bit. My name. Well, so yeah, I'm Sterling.
Gotcha.
Aquarius.
That's a start, right?
Yep.
I've been a bass player or bassist for, oh my gosh, probably the better part of 25 years. And before that, I was a drummer from age of like 11 or something like that. I mean, it was a long time ago. But I've been in a lot of local Arizona bands. I'm not original to EOA, but we've been friends for, Trip and I have been friends, or I've been friends with the band for a really long time anyway. So,
wow.
Are you from Tucson? Is that what I read?
Yeah, not originally from Tucson, originally from Boston, but
Okay.
I've been in Tucson for many, many years. Yeah, I mean, I finished school and college and, work and so on and so forth, all here in Tucson.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, we coincidentally did another podcast for a band, and they were out of Tucson too. Rockcast. They were from Tucson too. It was Ash to Dust, and I guess Tucson has a pretty hardcore rock scene because he plays at all different venues, all in that area, anyways. But we've never been down. We will go down someday, but
it's so funny how many Phoenicians have not been to Tucson,
right?
And don't know that there's a music scene down there as well. And it is funny. But yeah, I've been in other bands, and I tend to try and make sure that I'm not just playing Tucson venues, that I'm playing Tucson, Phoenix,
Yep.
Or
You're seeing
even
the bigger
Bisbee
picture.
or Flagstaff. Yeah.
Sure.
You have to. You have to think more regionally than just stateside. So, yeah, and I've been in other bands where we've toured. I was in a band called Hooker Hill before Engines of Aggression, and we definitely did a lot of shows around and podcasts and stuff like that in and around Phoenix and Tucson. And
Good.
but yeah, I've been a musician for a long time. At one point in 2005 to 2007, I worked for KLPX, which is a classic rock station here in Tucson.
I know that.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, Paul Billy on KLPX. How come this
Oh my god.
Wow.
My
I shouldn't give him a
idols.
plug, but I should just say that. I shouldn't give him a plug, but I should just, say that, yeah, I worked in
KLPX?
Right? But you already did. So
Yeah.
no takesies backsies right there. So both of you were
know,
drummers when you were young then, right? Because I read that about Trip.
Yep.
You were pretty young, like 8 or 10 or so. You started drumming.
Yeah.
I told you
Yeah,
I'm the
we're
fact
all
checker.
drummers in this band.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you
we're-
got to start
Good
somewhere.
I think it's important to have a foundation as a drummer, just because of the rhythmic, implications. I don't know. It's the easiest instrument to play. I think,
Man.
well, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you hit a thing and it makes noise. It's not like
you're hitting things
I mean,
with sticks.
Tell that to Alex Van
and
Halen.
it makes a noise. Oh, dude, I love Alex Van Halen. I love Alex Van Halen. And,
Absolutely.
and when I was drumming, he was like my main, one of the main inspirations to my drumming back in the day. But I stopped playing drums because I realized, I want to run the show, and I can't do that from behind a drum kit. So I had to
Yeah,
figure
that's
out how
very
to sing
true.
and all that.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess there's a lot of us ex drummers that are frontmen. I guess it's a thing.
Yeah, for me, I think the whole thing was that there were a lot of drummers and there were a lot of guitar players. And at some point, somebody said, I think I did try guitar for a little while, and I found it so small in my hands that every time someone was like, "Hey, play this guitar," or whatever, I was like, "I think I'm going to break it if you hand that to me," So I need something a little bit more my size, more my scale or whatever. So
Hey, now.
it's just having really big hands. So yeah, so bass was
You know what
perfect.
they say?
That's what they say. You know it.
Big
Here
hands,
we
Big
go.
hands, big
We're
heart.
going down that road. Trip. Here we go, Bubba.
Come on now, follow Tripper down the road to debauchery, ladies and gentlemen.
have you guys ever
You
met?
guys thought you?
Have you guys ever met Paul? He likes big things in his hands.
Yeah.
Right.
And no little things in Paul's hands. Hey, you guys interviewing us, you guys thought you'd get a word in edgewise with the two of us. Oh, I'm sorry, but
No, actually, no.
Right.
Trip, Paul, the show is yours. The floor is yours. At any time you guys want to start going, go for it. Because, like I said,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Phoenix Live, the Rock Phoenix Live with Paul and Trip, and we've taken over the station, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope, there's nothing.
Hey, do you guys have dogs?
What's that?
Do you guys have dogs? Are you guys dog people?
Yeah,
I
have a rescued pit.
Nice.
Yeah, she's my sweetie. They all have bad reputations, but you know what? She's my sweetie.
Don't give it down about a bad reputation.
So, oh my gosh, what? Back to the creative writing part of it. How do you guys come up with your material?
I don't know. Go ahead, Paul.
Kind of riff. Is it riff based?
Well, dude. So you know what I do? So Paul, obviously he writes on bass. I write. It's weird. Like I hum shit into a tape recorder or into my phone now, but I always had a little tape machine or digital machine, and I would just hum stuff into it, and then figure out later what it was, how I was making the sound. You know, where the chords were. A lot of people will sit down with a guitar and they'll riff out, but I just kind of write from my head. Things that I hear, because there's a constant radio station going on in my head 24/7.
Oh, I'm the same way. Yeah.
And
No,
so especially when you do a giant rail of coke, it's no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Drugs are bad.
Right off.
But yeah, everything plays at 78 RPM when you do that. No,
this is why it sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks when you say that.
It's like, well, you have 44 songs on one side of a record. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, that is a hell of a lot of energy.
Yeah. No, we're definitely very mellow guys. We're and we're very serious and we're very, very intense. Very intense. We've actually talked about when we do interviews, we got to be more intense, more like brooding and more. Because, if you look at photos of me, I look all very intense. I look very don't want to bring me home to mom, But, we're just regular guys. We're just regular guys fucking around trying to make noise,
Dude, it's the musician life, man. I envy you guys.
Well, you're a musician, too. What's to envy? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I never went anywhere. Like, I was the guy in L.A., wanting to play the L.A. scene. And, finally I get up to enough guff to go and join a band. And then all of a sudden, the lead singer wants more money because he thinks he has more writing creativity. And then before we even played a show on Ventura Boulevard or in L.A., we were just done. It was it. Kaboosh.
It's tough, man. It's actually... people don't understand that people that are music fans that aren't musicians, and I think that the biggest fans are actually musicians because they're the ones that really are into music the most. But
they can relate to the struggle. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, a lot of it's funny, when you hear bands talk about their quote unquote fans. It's like they talk about the kids, the quote unquote the kids. Well, we did it for the kids and all the kids. The kids. Our audience is like 40-year-old men, with beer bellies.
Right.
That's all right. That's our core.
That's
our people right there.
Yeah, they're like, we love you guys.
Right. No.
Like on the Spotify thing, they have the little algorithm where it's got the pie chart, and on ours, it just has the majority of it is like all blue with a big guy with a beard. And, he's just got home from work, and there's like two women. There's two women that like us, But
oh my gosh!
Right.
Well, no, make that 3 because I could be the third one on there.
We go.
I'll
That's
join your pie
about.
chart.
Yeah, we got 3, Paul. We got 3. That's awesome.
Yeah?
We're gonna put
3
that
women
here,
now.
So, yeah.
Even my own wife is like,
Not so much. It's okay.
Yeah, but she sees you every day. That's what happens.
Right, exactly.
She was like that. She was like that before the band, Paul. Yeah, before the band, she was kind of on him anywho. So,
Right.
I'm just kidding.
So your current Engines of Aggression, you guys have 3 singles, and that's what we're going to be playing, all 3 of them tonight. So are we looking forward to like a 4th one pretty quick, or putting together an album? And you sort of mentioned you hope to tour. Any venues or anything that people could find you at?
For sure. So let's see. We'll start with the recordings. It's when you're putting together a live show, our first live, we're going to be playing August 13th, Thursday night.
Right
at
on.
This funky little place called Fokeo. I've never been there, but it's literally like it's a Vietnamese faux restaurant and hard rock nightclub.
You're kidding.
Who would have thunk pho and rock would go together? That's awesome.
I know, and it's one of my favorite foods. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's Vietnamese. That was Vietnamese. It's Vietnamese.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm looking that one up. I'll look it up. I'll keep my eye on you.
We'll post that on the Rock Finish Live.
And it's going to be an early show. I think it's like doors are at 6, and I think it's maybe first band goes on at 7. I think it's over by like 10:30, something like that.
And you're going to play some old.
Yeah, all everyone home on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's all ages.
You're going to play some old songs
and,
too.
Yeah.
Because Frank actually liked a lot of the older original songs that you came up with, and I really have got to say I really like the new stuff. That's my preference.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean that's cool, and I think it's really kind of like there's really been 3 phases of this band. The first band from 1912 that I talked about, blowing up the Viper Room. That's where we had the Inhuman Nature album, and we back in that day we had Korn was opening for us, and we shared a rehearsal room with System of a Down.
Oh my gosh.
Which was pretty cool. And
yeah,
and they were like fans. They were like, "Oh, we listened to you every day when we were going to high school and stuff." And
that's impressive.
So kind of like it's kind of how their name was kind of a said straight of System of a Down, Engines of Aggression.
Yeah.
They kind of sheepishly admitted to that. This is back in 1904, 90, what was it, like 97, 98, something like that. But
93, 94.
Yeah, and with System, it was a little bit later than that. But then around 2000, we did that Black EP, and we went to Japan, kind of reignited the band. And then after that, it was like, dude, the music business is no joke. And these bands like Metallica that are still together, that are still doing it,
yeah.
I mean, love them or hate them, you got to respect the fact to be around that long.
Yeah, they toughed
and
it
not
out
kill
for
each
this many
other.
years. Yep.
Well, I do know that after the Metallica shows, they've said that James and Lars and the rest of the band will get into separate SUVs and then go to their hotel rooms. They don't even talk to each other backstage.
They've already said everything.
That's kind of weird.
I would believe that.
I think it's weird. I've seen, like, when I saw Blink-182 and Weezer, each guy had his own tour bus. Like every guy had his own tour bus.
Yeah.
And they, and that was like a summer tour, so they have their families with them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's something to be able to see, like when we've toured in the past and been able to see the world. You find yourself in Tokyo, Japan, and you wake up in halfway around the world and thinking, "Hey, I'm getting paid to see this country," type of thing, which is pretty awesome, Yeah. So that to me is the biggest, a big
You're
motivator.
Really lucky for that. Did I also read you have your own record label? Is that our Sonic 9 Records?
Sonic 9, yeah, that's kind of our little label and our studio, and have a little clubhouse out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because I kept reading you wanted to get back to like that DIY. You want to have more control yourself so you don't get burned, because been there, done that, right?
Well, and that's the thing. It's when you it's great getting signed to a record label, and especially when they give you a big advance and you're able to go get a car and all that kind of fun stuff. But what they don't tell you is that then you basically, if they tell you to, like, you can't play for another 6 months, you don't play another. They tell you, they basically
that sucks.
They kind of run the show.
That's what happened.
A radio or a record label is kind of like a bank, because they give you an advance, and then they work you in order to have earn the money back.
So they're kind of like a mean bank. They can be a mean bank too. And if they decide they don't want to put the album out, you're just fucked. You're at their mercy. So that kind of put us in a tough spot back in the day. And if the right label came along and it was the right deal, and the people, it's really not the label, but it's the people behind it. That how passionate are they about it? A lot of bands, they'll get on a label, a big, like an Interscope or something, but there's like 400 other bands.
Yeah.
And
but now that you know
if
that,
you don't have the,
and now that you're older and more experienced, you know what to look for too. You're going to look a little closer at that contract, not the big thousands of dollars advance that they gave you. You're going to think a little bit more, nitpick it a little bit more.
And you're young.
Long term. Yeah.
When you're 19 and when you're 19 and you don't want to work at the pizza delivery.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
It's like I'll take. I remember telling our attorney, it's like, come on, Jeff. I used to skateboard to work on Melrose Avenue, and I remember talking to our attorney and saying, "Come on, man, let's get this deal done." And he's like, "Hey, easy, Trip. We got this. This is a complex thing,
Yeah.
When you're young and dumb, you think everything just should happen right away." And,
Yeah.
Well, here's an
interesting
story. I don't know if you guys knew, but Kiss, when Kiss first started, they were making tons of money, had their makeup and all this, and these cool outfits and everything, and they made shit tons of money. But when they went to go and claim like their houses and claim the cars that they had purchased, it turns out it was all in the manager's name, and they had no rights to it whatsoever. So when they did the tour without their makeup, that was all them to get their money back.
Wow. I did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to watch the Kiss documentary.
So it's no joke what you guys went through, and it's really common now. But a lot of people know about the music industry, and you're right. Like you said, you do what they tell you to do because they give you this big lump sum of money, and you're a young guy, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. And like you said, going to Tokyo and getting paid to do it, you just kind of live in that dream until you wake up and realize that, hey, you got to make this money back for them.
Yeah. And I mean, if you can sell 2 million, if you can sell 2 million records, I mean, I'm in awe of bands that can do that. But if they put in $1.5 million to sell $2 million, you know what I mean? It's like they put a lot of money in, and that's the one downside. Well, that's one of the many downsides about being independent is unless you have a bankroll, some kind of a bankroll, a rich uncle or something. It's really hard to compete with bands that do have a bankroll and that are on a major label. So it's like we're kind of experiencing that right now, is trying to sort of break through, on a pauper's income. We don't have any big bucks or a big manager or anything like that, and so
you have to.
It makes it a little hard.
Yeah,
it's a bit more strategic where you're going to put your money to strategically help build the band, right? Because we're lucky in the way that EOA has somewhat of a foundation. If you were building a brand and a band from scratch, that's heavy.
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes into it, right? But with a band that already has a little bit of a foundation, there is some like, okay, well, if you put the money in at the right places in the right strategic areas, it will grow. And it is about knowing where to put it and how to put it there and when to put it there and things like that. So,
but all the beginning hurdles, you've already went over all of those, right? Because you already, like you said, the foundation was already laid. Those hurdles have already been jumped, so to speak. So just keep going forward.
Now there's new hurdles. There's there's TikTok content. TikTok and filming content and how to not come across like a total idiot, like what are we gonna do, dance moves here, or we're supposed to post 4 times a day and all this kind of stuff.
Well, I did notice. I did notice online.
Diet Coke and Mento.
Yeah.
Don't forget the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, hard to compete with that. I noticed you guys have like website, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, you're definitely out there and heading in the right direction, because that's all I could think to do was just spread it as far and as wide as you can.
Right.
And if it only takes up an hour of your time talking to, Rock Phoenix Live on a podcast or doing whatever, you just got to keep pushing and keep getting it out there.
That's exactly I literally think that's what this is. It's kind of like what I've known throughout the music industry over the years is that a lot of people just get off the bus because they just don't want to ride it anymore. They're tired of trying to push. They're trying to work it, or they get tired of working it. They have to not only play their instrument, have chops, have the look, be the cool hang, but they also have to do the marketing aspect of it, the financial aspect of it. There's all these little bits and pieces, and there is a lot to it. So it does need to be spread throughout your camp, essentially, and it's good to have guys that know what they're doing.
Yeah, and you have to wear
and we want to get little minions, like little internet minions that kind of work 24/7. And just like behind the scenes, like little miniature people.
Yeah, like Santa's elves.
Kind of
these little Santa's elves that take care of it all.
Yellow guys?
Yeah, we're actually trying to find actual minions, but I don't think they exist. I've been looking for them everywhere.
No.
Have you seen the Theo Von thing where he's talking about Santa's elves?
No, I haven't seen that one.
You know who Theo Von is?
Yeah, he's that, what is it, Just Kill Tony or whatever?
I don't know. He's got a podcast. He's like a comedian.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn. And how I first heard of him was on a Facebook reel, and he's talking about Santa's helpers are actually like carnies that in the wintertime, like that's where they in the summer they do the carny thing, and then in the wintertime they go work. And he's like, they're out smoking crack behind up the workshop and all gapped out and stuff. It's hilarious. I mean,
you've got to have a schedule.
Whatever helpers you can get these days.
What's that?
Whatever helpers you can get these days. Beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
Sometimes you got to take whatever you can get.
And if they're on crack, they'll just work a little more, for less pay or something.
I'd rather go for
the.
I think I get more work out of the meth
addict.
addict.
Have less peace. That's all.
Yeah. Don't ask, don't tell. Just keep working.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna play another song from you guys, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, music. Yes.
Yeah, music is good.
Well.
That's what it's all about.
All right, we're gonna play the next song, "Start a War," which came out in 2025.
Like literally.
Go for it.
1 year ago yesterday it came out, actually.
Nice. Happy anniversary.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Rock Phoenix
Thank
Live.
you very much.
Start a war.
Like it.
Can I get a fuck you for all the haters, from all the outcasts, from all the skaters? Can I get a hell yeah from all my people up in the back row, down in the pit, back in the dark, stuck in the grind? You make your mark, I'm falling behind, taking the hit, sucking it down, flashing the grit, don't make a sound. Back in the heat, back in the day, shot in the street, solely LA. I'm on the rock, doing my time, watching the clock, losing my mind. Do you wanna start a war? But you gotta stand up or you get a beat down. Do you want a little more? Well, you better step up or you'll never be found. Do you wanna start a war? Take the battle up the street, come inside and get some. You don't want it anymore. Sing a rally of peace, let the battle be done. Pushing us down, fueling the rage. Just let the beast out of our cage. Playing to win, never look back. I am all in, planning the attack. Well, it's not that far from the exit. Let's go back to the exit. Not that far from the exit. Yes, I wanna start a war. But you gotta stand up or you get a beat down. Or you want a little more? Well, you better step up or you never be found. Do you wanna start a war? Take the battle up the street, come inside and get some. You don't want it anymore. Sing a rally of peace, let the battle be done.
With blood on our hands, from the battles they wage, from the lies that they told us, and the promises they made. They want to keep us divided, cause together we're strong. The creep's running high, but it won't be long. Their disease, I won't catch it, gonna break out of this head trip. I'm not that far from the exit, I'm not that far from the exit.
Not that far from the exit, not that far from the exit. This can never be taken. Nothing can turn my way to make it. You will never forget me. Yes, I am finally set free. You will never forget me. Yes, I wanna start a war. But you gotta stand up or you get a beat down. Or you want a little more? Well, you better step up or you never be found. Do you wanna start a war? Take the battle up the street, come inside and get some. You don't want it anymore. Sing a rally of peace, let the battle be done.
All right, we're back with Engines of Aggression. Trip, you there?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Trip Holland.
That's awesome. All right, so tell us about that song. Tell us about. You said 1 year ago the song came out. So tell us what was Engines of Aggression 1 year ago.
Well, so just like DJ Thrill, it's more of a. It's not as separated as DJ Thrill, but it's kind of two themes. Like, so the beginning of it, it's a term that I use to my girlfriend when she's like nitpicking me over something small. And I'm like, really, do you want to start a war over this? Like, is this worth, getting into it over, or should we not do this right now? Type of
Everybody
thing,
can relate to that.
kind of
Oh my gosh.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's what we do
That's like
best.
a term that I use. I know. You girls, you love drama, and as guys prefer to try to not have, most of us But and I know you guys like to have it. That's why soap operas are so popular among females, and it's okay. It's I know you're just wired that way, and you're not evil. It's just the way you're wired, and I get it. But sometimes it's like, do you really want to start a war over this? Over the popcorn? I mean, can we just agree to not have whatever peanut butter in the popcorn and all that good stuff? And then so that's the kind of that's the funny but true story of that, and then. And then on a more serious note, it's about, it talks about LA. We're outside of our rehearsal studio, which is in a pretty bad, it's to get a cheaper place. You're kind of in a bad neighborhood. So we'd go out there and there'd be like shells, spent shells from bullets, going off in the middle of the night, Yeah, it was a pretty nasty spot. And so it was like, we avoided getting shot.
Yeah.
But LA parts of it are pretty nasty, and then that coupled with kind of be sure about which flag you're marching under, because a lot of these days, with all the political division and stuff,
right.
and people get online and they're very adamant about their side being right, the red flag, the blue flag, and my whole thing in Cautionary Tale is like, I don't know that any of us know what the fuck's really going on.
Right.
We kind of know what we're told, and then it's painted in a certain way. It's like I just kind of be very cautious before you're super convicted about which flag you're marching under, because I just don't. I think we should all march under the human flag and not put so much credence into the.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
so
some of that. I think some of that was like my initial take on it was starting a war against the division, against the two sides.
Yes.
Like, instead of everyone being divided, you're starting a war against that to bring everybody together so that everybody is working together in order to get what they want.
That's perfect.
But it's also a return. It's like an eye-opening song, because when you first heard it, it just comes right out of the gate and punches you right in the face.
Yeah,
so
totally.
It's kind of like one of those, like, we're back.
No foreplay.
And here we are, and you got punch in the face, and and don't be divided anymore. We're all coming back together because everyone wants to be friends ultimately.
Yeah,
I love the chorus.
The first lines of, oh, thank you. Yeah, and it's like the very first line is just, well, can we swear on this thing, or should I bleep myself?
No, swear.
Go ahead.
Say what the fuck you want.
It's not terrestrial radio. So it just says, can I get a fuck you for all the haters, from all the outcasts, from all the skaters? Can I get a hell yeah from all my people up in the back row, down in the pit?
Oh,
so that's kind of like a rally cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fuck you, haters. We've all been outcasts. Like, if you're not an outcast, like, I don't know, I can't really hang with you, So it's like, and then, just the haters are just the people that, like I don't consider us a metal band at all. Like, by today's standards, 20 years ago, we might have been considered metal. But nowadays, metal sounds like...
Well, Eric, before we change the topic, this topic, I want to ask you a question. So, what do you guys think of bands like I Prevail or Beartooth? The newer, God, I don't even know they call it screamo, but it's more like that the overdriven bass. I mean, of course,
oops,
Sterling will love the bass.
Yeah.
But it's overdriven bass, and like the drums are so complicated and just crazy.
The drums are programmed like to the gills. The thing of it is, my takeaway on it. I mean, I can get into. I kind of pride myself about being understanding all different types of music, even if I don't play it myself or listen to it on a daily basis. I can typically get where it's coming from. My whole thing, what I don't understand is why every band feels like that now they have to have, even if the whole song isn't screamo, they've got to have a section of it every time where they go, you know what I mean? It's like, it's almost like formulaic. It's very formulaic, and it's like, it's okay, but I think everybody's falling. There's a couple, like a Slipknot comes out, right, and I Prevail comes out, or Era, or Architects, and they kind of set the standard, and then there's like 1,000 other bands that fall right in line with them. You know?
Like Nevertell, Sleep Theory, and then you name it.
Yeah, and it's far easier. It doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to just copy what's already happening, and
Yeah.
and I understand that not everybody's got, I don't know, it's like they feel like that's, especially younger. When I was younger, I was copying Alex Van Halen or whatever. I was,
Sure.
but and I get that. I just it becomes very same. That's what kind of wiped out hair metal when Nirvana came along, because they were all doing the same thing, and it was all very derivative, and it just wasn't cool after a while. It was like incestuous. So then Nirvana had to come, and grunge came and wiped all that clean and started a new thing. And I think that metal like that, the screamo stuff, is, and this is just my reality, right? It's like, and I don't say that we're any better than that or different. I mean, well, we're different, but it's like we're probably a band name called Engines of Aggression. I think that's why a lot of the females probably shy away, because they think, oh God, it's scary, but it's really not. I mean, in today's standards, I would consider it commercial rock, compared to like some of these bands, and
well, I was going to say,
but I just think that
your choruses are just amazing. You know how to write those choruses really well. They're very, very catchy choruses, and like you said, you get to the point on the songs. Just amazing music.
Thank you. Well, and I don't know. I can't help it. I don't know. I could write. I think a lot of these bands, and I understand, like from a punk rock perspective, a lot of bands just want to be fuck you. They just want to be abrasive. Like, it doesn't even matter what the song is. They just want to
anarchy.
Alarm people. Just anarchy, just fuck all. And I get that too, but I was probably a bit like that when I was a lot younger. But I mean, shit, I want to play stadium. I want to play stadiums, man. I got to admit it. We could all play beer bars for the rest of our lives, but how cool would it be to play a stadium?
Yeah.
And I see guys like System of a Down, who we used to share a rehearsal room with, playing stadiums, and they haven't even put out any real music in decades.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying,
right. It's true,
and it's like I want to get up there on that fucking big stage,
Well, that's the thing, is like System of a Down now. They're mainly getting all of their press from things within the band. Like when I can't remember his name, Serge or what was his name? He left the band, did his solo project. Good. And then the lead singer, he was just going out doing political stuff. But it wasn't like you said, the band didn't put anything new or fresh out for a long, long time.
And they don't like each other, and they don't really want to play. It's like, fuck you guys, man. They have all these fans that want to see them, and they're just like, we don't want to play. I don't want to play in the band. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The other bands that they come out with, they go and they do their side projects with, they're never what the other band sound. Well, I mean, for the most part, they're not what the other band sounds like, and that's the intent. However, it's also like a follow-up movie that's, the second version isn't as good. Yeah, exactly.
See, Frank and I did a podcast recently on cover songs, and I am not a fan of covers. But part of what we were talking about while we're doing all of our talk in between the songs was sometimes bands, when they start out, they need to pick an already really popular song, and that's what you sing, and then it gets you out there, and everyone thinks that because it's familiar to them. They all know the words, they can sing along, but then you got to come up with some original stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a good tactic. I mean, it's like that, and that leads me to a discussion about tribute bands. Which, it's reached an epidemic level, and I got no problem with people wanting to make money, but I think it's kind of up to the audience to demand a little bit more from, people go, oh, there's no scene, there's not work going out, etc. Well, if bands would try to be a little more amazing, a little more original, then people might come out.
Yeah, it's like,
the thing about doing tribute.
If you
tribute bands are
go ahead,
are for bands for musicians. The tribute band is and the cover bands are for the musicians who want to go out and play. It's only that, though. Remember, it's only the performance side of it. You're in the business of performing, because that's all of it. When you're original artist, when you're a licensed recording artist like Trip and I, and members of Engines, you're in the business of making music or recording music, as well as you are, performing that music as well. The trouble with the tribute guys is that they're sucking up a lot of good, musicians. And instead of them putting out original stuff, they're, getting paid to do, tribute. Again, I mean, it's not really anything against anybody, but at the same time, it's like, guys, if you would just spend your time over here, for me, I did a couple of tributes, and I said, eventually I said, look, I don't really want to bask in somebody else's success. I think I would rather try and make my own and just, I know it's the more difficult road to go, but at least at the end of the day, I can sleep at night.
I agree. I totally agree with you, Paul. That's exactly it. And, it's like when someone says, oh, look, Metallica's going to be playing over at the casino. Well, no, it's not Metallica. It's the cover band. And do you think Metallica would ever play at a casino? So, no.
Maybe if the price is right, they might. But yeah,
right. It's like seeing the Temu version. It's like, do you want to see the real thing or do you want to see the Temu version?
Yeah, but we went and saw Damage Inc., so we're supporting that.
Well, yeah, they were all right.
Uh-huh.
Well, and you know what? I understand. Like, here's the thing, and Paul and I have discussed this. Is like, if there's no longer a Pantera, well, there is a Pantera, which they're doing great, by the way. But it's like if there's a Led Zeppelin or a Van Halen, like, I totally get that. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to ever be able to see those bands, and there's people that never did get to see those bands in the prime.
Yep.
That's all we got.
And it's a different ball game, really, and it's entertainment. It's like going to a sports bar and seeing a cover band. That's totally cool, but it's a different thing than what we do. If you actually want to make a paycheck consistently, that's probably, I think a lot of good musicians just kind of relegate themselves to that. And here's the thing too, like to what Paul said, just do something original, but there's, not everybody can write a good song. Not everybody's capable of making material that everybody wants to hear. So
well, now they can with AI. Now they can do it with AI. They can simply use that Suno app.
But you know what? I am not a musician, but I think you guys that are musicians, you'd know if it was an AI written song or not. I think you guys would just know it.
I'm not. Well, I know when it's an AI produced song, because when a band that's a quote unquote band is, you never heard them, they're brand new, and they've been together for 2 weeks, and they release this stuff that sounds like it's produced by Mutt Lange or whatever. I mean, hey, not to be wrong, but some of it's amazingly well done. But the problem with it is it reduces, or it sort of I'm looking for the right word here. It kind of minimizes what a songwriter and a real band does, because with a few prompts and some buttons, it can sound like an amazing thing. And if you don't know, sometimes I can tell the way the drums sound and all that stuff, but a lot of people don't care. They don't know. They don't care. The downside of that is, if you know how long and hard it takes to put a song to put a band together, to have four guys that don't want to kill each other and produce something, and to get it actually out there and have it sound great, it's a lot of work. And, at the end of the day, I guess what's coming out of the speakers is what matters. So, I just think it minimizes, it kind of,
it takes out the human element.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I use AI for non-musical things. I use it for video editing and stuff like that. But, then your video editors might go, I hate video editing AI because it's losing, took our jobs, type of thing.
But you know what?
Or even graphic.
Like you were saying, though, dude, we're on a budget, man. We don't have the money to buy the high-end software and sit around home all day and freaking learn how this stuff works. Like, we have to make a living. And AI is just a tool to allow you to do things that normal people...
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a
very
tool.
handy tool.
And so you can't be afraid of that. But I'm afraid of the music part because, like you said, there's so much that goes into making a band, creating the band, going into a studio, making the music, writing it down, producing it, playing it the same song every single show
over
or whatever.
And over and
like there's something to being a warrior of a musician.
I wasn't sure if you guys were going to talk as much as you do, so I had some questions. This is awesome because I hardly have to even use my notes. But one of the questions was, like, obviously you guys have been together for a few years now. How do you handle your creative disagreements? Because you can't just always mesh, right? Like you're saying, it's hard to have all these personalities and all agree all the time. I don't think so.
Well, that's why that's why it's a dictatorship at this point. And no, but
I almost
that
guessed
just
that.
eliminates all kinds of problems.
Trip is usually Trip will write stuff and they'll be like, no, that's not smart.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, how did you play that? It's like, well, I played that bass line on the keyboard. Like, how the fuck are you playing that? So actually,
there will be bad days in bands. So I've had this conversation, not just in this band, but in other bands. Like, what happens when you have a bad day as a band? And you just kind of have to say, okay, it is what it is, and you have to walk away from it for that day and say, like, just walk away from it for that time. Don't, walk away from it permanently, but you got to take a break.
Well, just like family, right? Sometimes we don't like our brothers or our sisters, but we can't just disown them and say, forget that, I'm never coming home again. You just have to. You have to suck it up or come to some kind of mutual agreement. That's good. That's what makes it flow.
Well, and I think
compromise.
I think that
compromise the communication.
And you have to have the right. You have to have the right. Yeah, right. No, but I mean, I'm kidding, but you have to have the right players too. You have to have the right chemistry. It's just like any relationship, and you can have the wrong players and try to force it, and that's when it's a struggle. And fortunately, I'm really blessed to have like Paul and Carlos and Todd, our new drummer. We've had some drummer issues, which is kind of a Spinal Tap thing. They
I was thinking it sounds familiar.
Those drummers, and we're all drummers too, which makes it really hard on anybody coming in to play drums because we're like standing there with our arms crossed, like, let's see what you got, type of thing. But
that's the Foo Fighters syndrome.
Foo Fighters?
Yeah.
Because Dave Grohl's the lead singer, so every time he puts a drummer in the seat, he's like always critiquing that drummer. That's why Taylor Hawkins was such a good fit, because he didn't give a shit what Dave said. He's like, I'm going to do it my way. And then Dave was like, great, I'm glad somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, he was great.
Step up to the plate.
We all get along, and we've had some people that tried to be in the band, and it's just like, for whatever reason, I could tell from doing this for 100 years, it's like, it's not a good fit, and I can see it's going to be an issue down the road, so it's like, but I think we got a solid drummer now, Todd Loomis. He's awesome.
Excellent.
He was in a band called Love, Sex, and Death back in LA around the same time Engines was starting, and they were awesome. They had this guy. I got to get off on a little bit of a tangent, but this Love, Sex, and Death, they had a singer who was like a homeless guy. And he was like, he'd get on stage in pajamas and drool all over himself. And he was but a super cool singer and an awesome, like a very different thing. They got signed to, I'm not sure what label, but they were signed to a major label, Mercury, maybe? I'm not sure. But
oh, wow.
And it turns out it was a total act. We all thought guy was real. He stunk and everything, But it was just an act, So anyway, but that's Todd, and he's our new drummer, and he's a monster, great drummer. So
that's cool.
We're excited about that.
Speaking of drums and stuff, what kind of equipment do you guys play? What do you rocking, Paul, as far as amps and bass go?
Oh boy, yeah, we'll go down them. So with bass guitars, I use Fender Jazz basses.
Nice.
I have kind of a collection. I have a couple of.
Paul could open a Guitar Center in his living room right now. Okay.
Wow.
Woohoo! I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul,
and then with amplifiers, it's 3. I have Mark bass, I have an Orange, and I have an Ampeg. And so I think, weirdly enough, the Italian Mark bass is the one that's really stood the test of time. From, I don't know, I think this amp is like 16 years old. Wow. I think at this point. Anyway, give or take. And then I've really backed down as far as like what I use for pedals, but I've always used a wah, because nobody else in the local scene kind of uses a wah for a party trick. So I use a wah for decorating. And I use a Sans amp and a tuner pedal, and that's it. It doesn't really need to be overcomplicated. Yeah.
That's cool. I was always wondering about getting an orange amp. My son and I, we recently bought a Catalyst from line 6, but I was looking at those oranges and I was like, I don't know, is that metalish or I don't know. But that's cool, man.
You know, the Brits make a really. There's a couple of British companies out there that make really cool stuff. The orange stuff is it's hot. I will say that, and meaning that it has a strong signal. So it's like it's super quiet, and you're barely nudging the knob, and then it's really loud. You know?
Wow.
You have to go gentle with the settings. That's what I can tell you about the orange. But.
That's cool. So as you two as drummers, what drum sets what drum companies would you prefer?
Trip, do you want to talk to that?
I was muted, so I was trying to interrupt and I was muted. So that's the only thing that can shut me up is the mute button.
Oh,
but I wanted to interject about Paul and his gear. Dude has the most explosive, kick-ass, just perfect bass sound for a rock band. I mean, it's killer. I mean, he could just basically ride on the E string and it would be awesome. You know, it sounds so good. Oh. So I have to say that it's like, I mean, people might think, oh, bass tone, like it's important and his is awesome. So there's that. And that lends itself to the fact that he's got probably every amp. I think he was not telling you about all the gear he has.
All the rest of them.
A lot more than I think if his wife's listening, she doesn't want her to know all the actual gear over to my house, you know. So anyway,
hiding out in storage in the garage at the neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a
you know, I kind of can relate to that. I have come home and all of a sudden I noticed that there's just one more guitar where there didn't used to be. And they try to disguise it by like hanging it and squeezing it in where the other ones were. And I'm like, I don't really pay that much attention, but it looks a little different.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
If I start shopping for a guitar, I usually tell my wife, we're going to have another mouth to feed. and then she kind of rolls her eyes. Like,
she knows where you're going with that.
Yeah.
So I already know
that Disneyland trip.
Disneyland trip.
That Disneyland trip is off the books, you know, for this summer because Paul got a new bass.
Oh, gotcha, right.
Yeah, I suffer also. So I do, like I said, I feel for that. So I was gonna say I already know my favorite.
Didn't interrupt you.
Start a War has got to be my favorite song, truly. But I'm wondering which one do you guys like to perform live? Like which one is like the most active or intense, or it just flows best? What do you think? Which one's your fave?
You go, Paul.
I like Nightmare in Pain Town. I'm looking at our set list. I should come back to this so I can talk a little bit about what people will hear live. So the set list does include a little bit of everything from all three eras of the band that go all the way back to the early 90s and then the early 2000s and then today. So so Start a War is definitely part of that. As far as favorites, Nightmare in Pain Town, Big Bad Karma from the first album, Go Fanatic, and Trip doesn't know this, I don't think, but New Shanghai is probably the one that I remember from like when it came out in what was it, around the millennium, right?
2000, 2001, I think,
Yeah. So New Shanghai, and then there's two new ones on there, which we haven't really. We're just teasing that there are two new ones, and we're working on those. And one of those is going to be, I'm sure, a favorite among a lot of people because it's catchy.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's cool
for sure.
Yeah,
I like the new stuff. It hit different for me. And I don't really have an ear for music. I just know what I like. And when you're talking about AI, I wouldn't be able to hear if it was AI or not, or if something is overproduced. Does it sound good and do I like it? Because I'm not a musician.
Right.
But I kind of feel, you know, all that talent, which I don't have. So I'm like, I can see where it would. I agree it would lessen it. And I can see where it doesn't seem fair that somebody could be like such a quick hit and they didn't even have any talent. It was like the lip syncing or the boy bands or, you know what I mean? Like they just put a whole bunch of random people together. Yeah, very. So, Well, that's cool.
I mean, it's the first word in artificial intelligence is artificial. So if you like your music artificial, then that's fine. It's like that's a different thing. But it's it is what it is. But I wanted to say about the songs. An interesting sort of thing that we discovered is those old songs when I was 19, 20 years old. My voice, I can't hit some of those notes anymore. It's like I'm like, whoa, that kids singing those songs. You get to be, get to be my age, and I can't quite sing like that anymore. So kind of interesting. We detuned it a full step down so the old man could hit the right notes.
Oh,
right. Yeah, I feel that one as well. I'm the old one in our house, so yep. There's a whole lot that I can't do that I used to.
Dude, I hear I'm in good shape physically, but I hear songs on the radio I used to be able to sing. I'm like, wow, that's high. Like, well, that's high now. That's really high. It's like, no, maybe it's not so high. Maybe I'm just not as young and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
things change.
Other than that, we still run around like idiots on stage and jump through hoops and fire and all kinds of things. We like fire and. We're not going to try to burn down a little club or anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, no fire at the faux restaurant, though. That won't go over well.
No, I know. Well, we might have one of the chefs come out and do a little dish on stage or something like that.
Well, maybe that would be awesome.
Glenn
we just want to let everybody know it's an all-ages show, and it's called FOCAO, so PHOCAO, and it's at 7436 East McDowell Road in Scottsdale.
Oh, cool.
It's the Regression, 8 p.m., August 13th. So come on down and we'll give you a T-shirt and we'll have our T-shirts and our bandanas.
You guys have
and
swag?
our
I
baby
love
ones.
swag.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we got swag for you guys.
Yeah. And you know what? I was looking at your website, and I know that you have like merchandise for sale. I saw hats and shirts and girl tank tops and coffee mugs, and that's cool too. Good, you gotta get it out there.
We've only sold 2 coffee mugs, I gotta say, but
the coffee mug actually stood out to me. I was like, oh, that's cool. There's a coffee mug.
See? Maybe we're a third. Maybe we're gonna sell a third one, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
Where's my coffee mug? I need to
if I can get
they can put your logo on
I'll
anything, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And I don't have any tattoos, but I could wear a temporary tattoo. You could think of that. I don't have any real ones.
Hey, I never thought of that. We do have a rubber stamp that we just can make a stamp.
There you go.
In fact, back in the day,
yep, perfect.
I always like a logo that you can make a rubber stamp out of, And we have a stencil. Back in the day, in LA, we would just go, it was kind of a thing along Melrose and Sunset.
Yeah.
For a lot of the people would stencil stuff, and it definitely wasn't bands usually, but we would stencil the logo all over the town, and nobody knew it didn't have the name of the band. It just had this screaming head with the saw blade. Yeah, and so when we actually put an ad in the LA Weekly for our first show, everybody's like, oh, and it sold out. The Viper Room show sold out. The lights blew the place up, but we sold the show out.
Cool. And all the homeless people just had the big stamp right on their forehead. You just went around and stamped them all.
While they're sleeping, definitely.
So tell me, what does the future hold for Engines of Aggression? What's the next step moving forward, and what can we? You said there's going to be some new music coming out.
Paul has wanted to get into pornography for the longest time.
With his big hands.
So his side project isn't musical. He's gonna do a couple of porn shoots and all that.
It's gonna be on Broadway.
We support him. I mean, we're not. It's not really it's not my cup of tea, but we support him. We got to be good bandmates like that, and it's not gay porn, there's nothing wrong with gay porn.
Right? No, not at all.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That my wife said, look, you're going to have to do a side hustle at some point. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it, whatever. Look.
What did you think of it when you did?
It's like, why would I go out there and side hustle? You have the better legs, honey.
Right, exactly. I'm like, really? Are you sure I'm the one that's supposed to be doing it? Are you supposed to be? Look, I don't know about
He's
this.
doing it for the kids.
Everybody has their fetishes.
You're like, look, if you want to put these kids through college, it's going to have to happen one way or another. Right.
my life in porn and rock.
Anyway, So what does the future hold for ELA? Well, I can start off by saying none of us are spring chicken. So
we've got walkers. We got walkers on stage.
Right, exactly. Everyone's like, we're dragging this in the car.
Oh, Phoenix! How you doing, Phoenix? Hey, rock and roll!
A couple years ago, Frank went and saw the Scorpions, and I'm like, "Oh, rock me with your hurricane." Do you remember that as seen on TV, that walking cane, but you could just let it go because it had extra little legs? I was like, "Really? The Scorpions? They're so old, but they still kicked ass, though."
Rock me with your cane. That's hilarious. Rock me with your cane.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. True story. I did a gig opening this a couple of years ago. I was in another band, and we were opening for Co-op, which is Dash Cooper's band. Dash Cooper is the son of Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
And,
yeah.
And Alice came down to Tucson, and he did a couple of songs with his son Dash. And one of the songs he did was "I'm 18," right? So, but instead he says, "I don't sing I'm 18 anymore." He said, "I'm 80 and wearing my slipper."
Yeah,
I saw Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie in Ministry a couple of years ago at the Talking Stick Amphitheater.
Oh,
I was blown away. I mean, Alice, dude, he's got to be like 106 years old or
least.
something.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
And I think he's pushing 80, and I'm no joke. And dude could sing his ass off. I was really impressed.
Yeah, but
you see these guys like David Lee.
He's a good boy. Like he really takes care of himself, and he really does a lot of things to make sure that his vocals stay in tune. And especially at his age, doing that, where the rock music life can get to you, booze, drinking, drugs, whatever. And again,
right.
If Alice is still going, I mean, look at Keith Richards. He's still going too.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's actually still alive. I think they just kind of prop him up with the animatronics. I don't even think it's real.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's with Keith Richards. In fact, we have to start thinking about the world that we're leaving behind for Keith Richards. Because,
I have a theory about blood transfusions.
War.
I think they just give him a whole bunch of really like young people's blood, and it's heavily oxygenated and lots of hormones and everything, and that's what keeps him alive.
Yeah, it's like blood doping. It's like these guys on the Tour de France or whatever. They're just taking out the old stuff, put the new stuff in.
Yep,
Here we
absolutely.
go. Off you go.
Yeah,
and off stage.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
like me, I'm just popping the Viagra like Tic Tac.
He's on stage with his microphone.
Hey, if you want a young girlfriend, you got to do that, man. And that's all I got to say about that.
This next song is called Cialis.
Yeah, brought to you by Cialis.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, I hope not for you guys. You guys are great musicians and such an incredible sound. Like I said, I'm a really big fan now, and the music is just so, like I said, it's just so awesome. Like you have the catchy choruses, you have really good verses, and the music is just heavy enough to stay with the time of the music. Like that was one of the things I was going to say to you guys was your music on the 94 album, it sounded like it was ahead of its time almost. Like it sounded like what you were doing was going to curve the new sound of music going forward. And again, with this the 2024 album, again, same thing. You're able to keep up with the style of the music that's going at that time, which is really awesome because of the fact that you're not using like the backing tracks. It's you guys playing. Like you're doing this awesome thing. It's really cool.
Doing the damn thing. Yeah, and I think that is the way it is because we're not following any kind of trend. And, for better or worse, sometimes it's an experiment that can go horribly wrong, but it just we're not really following a template from any other band. There's elements of stuff like White Zombie. Back in the day, I was a fan of White Zombie and early Marilyn Manson stuff and Ministry and Nine Inch Nails and all that kind of stuff. But it's not like a lot of bands are just literally like a spitting image of, I Prevail or whatever, or Sleep Token, and they all. And so if you do that, you can kind of paint yourself into a corner. And I just like art. I just like to do whatever's on the top of my head, and it's either going to suck or it's going to be great or ahead of its time. But hopefully more of them are great and less of them suck, and that's kind of our ratio. And if we can keep the greatness of suck ratio proper, and get people out to the shows, and all ages show, by the way, on the 13th of August, all ages show. We have no idea what it's going to like, but I think if we can get some faux on the stage and get a fire going, and
you know what? And I'm glad you keep saying that, because I think that's uber important. So we have a 15-year-old. He's soon to be 16, but he's been going to shows for quite a few years. Like, he was pretty young, probably 12, 13, when we would take him to different shows that we were going to at some of the local venues, the smaller ones. He's been to the Marquee, and I can't think of all the other ones. Frank knows them all.
Rebel Lounge.
And you know what? We had to be sure that it was an all ages show. And then we had to get permission for him to come and sit where we were sitting, because we used my old age as an excuse, and it worked out beautifully. But I mean, kids need to experience this. They can't just go to everything that's important to them. They need to hear some old mom's music and old dad's music as well, old classic stuff, but also new stuff. Like, this is where we came from. It might be like, my kid is in love with I Prevail. That's all he talks about is I Prevail. Not my style at all. So he needs to have that wider range, and they got to experience these things. So I like those all ages shows. We get the wristband. We don't. I think we want to drink the beer.
Yeah.
We're not going to hang out with them all the little whatevers, but
Yeah, I think that it's important, and I think that a lot of these like bars and stuff where most bands play, their agenda is to sell alcohol. That's their main reason for existing. And so we're just kind of like there to keep people in there to drink. But that's kind of, in my opinion, it's not really the best reason for music to exist is to sell alcohol. It's like, it kind of minimizes the music, and I think when you do all ages shows, I love doing like a matinee stuff, on a Saturday afternoon and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite, because I like to go to bed early. If I could go to a 2 p.m. show, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, people don't want to stay out till 1 a.m. waiting to see your band. You know, it's like I don't even want to see us at 1 a.m. I mean, it's like,
no way.
And when you go. When you go to a concert, the door, it starts at 7:30. You're out of there by 10:30. It's like but then again, it's the alcohol sales and all that kind of thing. So anyway, we're happy that it's all ages, and they have a bar too. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for this upcoming show in Scottsdale?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a warm up show, because I mean we typically play like bigger, more traditional places, but with this phase of the band. It's like we're getting back into playing live, and we've got all the pieces. I didn't want to play live until we had everything. The pieces were right. A lot of people say, "Oh, just go out there and grind through it, and you'll figure it out." But I've always been of the mindset of like, I don't want to figure it out in front of people. I want to. But if we're going to charge people $10 to come in the door, you're going to see a band that's hitting on all cylinders. You're not going to see a band that's figuring it out.
Yeah, as they go.
So,
good for you, Trip. Good for you, man. That's awesome. All right. So was there anything?
Other than that,
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. No, go
we
ahead.
talk too much. I was just going to say, other than that, I'm a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, dude, you're totally cool, man. I can't wait to see you guys. I might actually even come down and see this show, actually.
Well, it happens to be your kid's 16th birthday on August the 13th. So I'm just saying, maybe we're eating birthday cake. I don't know.
Yeah, he turns.
Oh my God, Frank! What's your son's name?
His name's Liam.
Liam.
Yep.
Cool name.
Yeah.
Liam's birthday on the 13th.
Well,
wow, and if you do call, you got to let me know if you come, because we're gonna have to, totally embarrass him and all that
I
kind of
love
stuff,
embarrassing him. That's my favorite thing to do.
Anyway, was there any?
He might not want beat down, but that'd be fun.
Oh, he's used to it.
He's a moody 16-year-old. I don't want to have some awesome band hang out with my 16-year-old moody kid.
No, they're just gonna say, I don't know, whatever, embarrassing things from the stage.
Anyway, all right. Was there any?
We'll just like.
Go ahead.
We're sorry. The number you've reached is disconnected at this time.
Dude, I knew that was him the whole time doing that. Just kidding. Was there anything on the show tonight that we didn't talk about that you want to hit on and kind of mention for the band?
What, you got a couple more hours? I mean, we can. I'm kidding. Paul and I are never at a loss for words. Yeah.
You know what?
If
This
anything,
is
we probably
actually
told you too much.
This is very, very nice for us because sometimes, Frank and I have been married for like 20 years, and sometimes we run out of our conversations and we like talk back and forth, and people think that it's very cute, playful banter, but sometimes it's pretty serious. But it's nice for somebody else to do the talking, and we can just interject. So you guys have just been great.
Yeah.
It's a nice flow.
You're a husband. You guys are a husband and wife team? See that? Now that's
Yepers.
news. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Some behind the scenes footage of Rock Phoenix Live.
Nice. No, we thought about doing that for like TikTok and all this stuff. It's like, we get off, we turn the camera around from the video, and you see that it's in my bedroom, and there's dogs running around, and
Right?
like, kids in the background and stuff. It's like, that's reality. It's like there's the mystique, and then there's the reality, and it's like you can do both pretty well, I think. If you saw me out at night, late at night, with all my whatever, my hoopla and my fake teeth and my cane and all that, you never would realize that I'm a family man,
I would never guess it.
Dude, hard rockers are families, hard rockers are singles, hard rockers are LGBTQ, whatever you want, man. It's all for the music. It's for the intensity, the power, the metal.
Right. Yeah, as long as you're passionate about it, man. If you're passionate, that's the thing is, even with these Cookie Monster bands that are like, I mean, if you're passionate about it, more power to you, bro. It's like, it doesn't even matter if I like it or not. Like, if you got people that are into it, and if you're into it and making the art, then go at it.
Yeah, all the power to them.
That's my favorite thing to do is like I go to a show and I'm like, it's the last act and I'm like, 6 beers in and me and this guy, I've got my arm around him. We're just like chanting the song and it's like, I don't even know this guy from Hell or High Water, but we're in it. We're locked in and we are just rocking this song and it's like, that's the coolest thing ever.
And he has his camera in the other hand and he's recording it. Then when we play it back after, all I can hear is Frank singing. I can't even hear the band. Only Frank. I'm like, really? Did they need your help?
Well, like I said, musicians are typically the biggest fans of music. And, when I'll get emails from people in like literally in Croatia and Poland and countries that I've never even heard of before that are like, oh, I love your music and all this stuff. And I play guitar and, I've learned this song, or there's guys that'll do, their version of your song and stuff. And it's like really flattering, that
oh, absolutely.
We're not a household name yet, but there are people halfway around the world that are playing our music, which is pretty cool.
That's my
awesome.
gosh. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? And that is social media and the internet and everything that has brought us all kind of together. Because, go back a couple of decades, we didn't have that same, we didn't even have that option.
No.
Yeah, he knows.
Right.
He was in there in L.A. and they didn't have YouTube back then.
Right. Yeah, you were doing it the
1912. Yeah,
way.
we didn't. No cell phones even. But
if
the one thing that's gone down. I mean, really.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and,
I do everything
the
old
one
school.
thing the one thing that we did have back then that I miss is that back then everybody was, if you're a rocker or whatever, everybody was listening to the same radio station. You'd be driving down the street, you'd see another dude or a couple, rocking out, and their music is turned up, yours is on the same station.
Yep.
Everybody had kind of more of a communal sort of on the same page, or there weren't as many TV channels. So, hey, did you see that movie last night on Channel 7? Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Right,
like,
that's true.
Nowadays, it's like the iPod, the the my sound, everything's just my individual thing, and everybody's listening to their own thing. And sadly, there's less of a. That's why I like these festivals that are come back, that are still huge now. These rock festivals that we want to play on next year.
That's cool.
That even if we're the band in the tiny type at the very, very bottom, that's just, we just want to get out there amongst the people. But that's cool to see that when you see that, you realize, okay, people really haven't changed that much, and they are on the same page, and it's fun to see, that, because you don't get to see that other than that, because everybody's got, like I said,
we're not all
radio,
dead yet. That's
stations.
the thing. We're still alive. We're at that age where, we remember what it was, and then now we can seek it out. We can still find it, and we haven't all dropped dead yet. So I think it'll be around for.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why it's good to have these younger generations, because then maybe they'll appreciate it and start listening to it and keep it going.
Well, yeah, and and if I gotta say one thing in closing, as far as Engines of Aggression being a band that originally formed back in the 90s and is around now, it's like I want to be viable. My goal is to be viable, like not to be as relevant to someone who's never heard of us before, and then also be there for the people that remember us back in the day. We're not trying to be a nostalgia thing, you know. It's got to hit like right now, you know, as well as have people. I get come up, people talk to me like, dude, I remember I saw you guys with Danzig back in '94, you know, and all this stuff, and that's awesome. But you can't rely on that, you know.
Right.
Like, you got to be there for the current crowd. You know?
You have to evolve.
Yeah, indeed. Yes. So, but you know, people like you guys, like helping to keep the rock alive. And I don't know if you have 4 listeners or 4,000 listeners. It doesn't really matter. It's like that you're doing it, and it's like it's doing it for the love of it, and it's awesome. And I thank you for having us, honestly.
Well, thank you, Trip, and thank you, Paul. We're going to end the show tonight with Nightmare in Paintown, Paul's favorite song to play live. You guys want to talk about it really quick before we go?
All right, yeah. This is the chorus is my best Alice Cooper impression. That's the one thing that I've really purposely set out to do a sort of a tribute to Alice, because he's rad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Paul, do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything to add, but I will say I think this song will hit the best live.
Sweet. I can't wait. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on Rock Phoenix Live. Paul, Trip, it's been an honor, and rock on, guys.
Namaste.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you.
Later.